A whale of a tale. It may be a minnow compared with Star Wars, but this Moby Dick epic is well worth catching, writes Brian Viner. In the Heart of the Sea, 12A. Verdict: deserves to make a splash. Rating: Ron Howard's 19th-century whaling epic, In the Heart of the Sea, hasn't quite sunk without a trace since it opened in the United States last week, but it is clearly adrift in stormy waters, and to make matters worse, there is now the wake of a cinematic leviathan to contend with, in the mighty form of the new Star Wars film. There is only one epic movie on everyone's minds this week, and it certainly isn't Howard's. But since I reviewed Star Wars: The Force Awakens in Wednesday's mail, ahead of that night's premiere, let me tinker with the cosmic order of things and give priority here to In the Heart of the Sea, which despite its miserable early performance at the US box office is actually rather good. Thor with oars, Chris Hemsworth as heroic first mate and master whaler Owen Chase, who led the Essex into perilous weather conditions and very nearly to the bottom of the ocean. Based on a book by Nathaniel Philbrick, it tells the true story of the final voyage of the Essex, a whaling ship from the New England island of Nantucket, which in turn inspired Herman Melville's celebrated 1851 novel Moby Dick. The Essex set out in 1820, under the uncertain command of the inexperienced George Pollard, Benjamin Walker, scion of a famous Nantucket seafaring family. Determined to assert his authority over the low-born but heroic first mate, master whaler Owen Chase, a floppy-haired, improbably muscular Chris Hemsworth, he led the Essex into perilous weather conditions and very nearly to the bottom of the ocean. But it wasn't Pollard's stubbornness and naivety that did for the Essex. It was an enormous white whale, possessed like the shark in Jaws of a level of vindictiveness that seemed downright human. Destroying the ship wasn't enough for this creature, it then pursued the stricken sailors on their makeshift lifeboats, evidently intent on finishing them off. The Essex set out in 1820, under the uncertain command of the inexperienced George Pollard, Benjamin Walker, Wright, scion of a famous Nantucket seafaring family, and Hemsworth as a floppy-haired, improbably muscular first mate. All this is told in extended flashback, as Melville, Ben Whishaw, researches the story that is to make him famous by persuading the only surviving crew member, Tom Nickerson, Brendan Gleeson, superb as ever, to open up at last on the traumatic events of 30 years before. It's stirringly done, and Howard has put the reported $100